Hey guys, what's up? Grizzly Adams here, and today I got for y'all something a little bit different and something pretty awesome. This is going to be the first video of a small series of sabotage, how to sabotage spawn trap videos. I'm going to put basically one up for each map, and today I'm going to start off with Bootleg. But let's get off to the basics. Sabo spawn trap is basically a way of spawn trapping them on Sabotage game type. Uh, right here, you can see this is pretty far into a game, in pretty much an easy as shit mode. But what happens is you will I'll show you all how to do it. But once you get claymores, you put claymores into certain spawns, and it basically cuts off that spawn. And as long as you're alive and you have a claymore in that spawn, nobody will spawn there. And right here, you see this is actually about 25 to 30 seconds later. My friend put on the Juggernaut kill streak. I'll talk a little bit more about that later, but it's kind of useless. But right here, I'll explain all this later, but I become the runner. But the basics of it are you cut off the spawns, and you stand or get close to a spawn, and people will basically spawn there as long as you have the claymores and stuff like that. You can cut off spawns and get basically free headshots, free kills, super fast experience, whatever. But right here, I don't. This was just a glitch in the game. Same game, basically about 1 minute after I got that Moab, that first kill I got with the Juggernaut kill streak. It's just a glitch. I got another Moab. But I'm going to switch to, this is at the beginning of the game. I'll show you all what happens. So basically right at the beginning, you're going to want to move straight in with your whole team, and you're going to basically want to just go super like kill hoary, kind of go all hard, try hard on their asses. And you're going to want to push them. Basically, you're going to want to kill them, put a claymore in a spawn, and kind of hang out in that area. And I'll go over all the spawns and all that kind of stuff. But you're going to want to kill them, push up, cut off spawn points, and basically just a lot of teamwork, and you should be able to cut off the spawns until you get people into their positions, which will be into certain spawn points, and you can basically end up killing them super fast and easy and getting free headshots and gold titles if you want to do it that long. But here, I'm gonna, in this part of the gameplay, or anyway, and I'm going to show y'all how to what the positions are, and where to position your claymores, and where to sit on all the spawn points on this map. Alright guys, let's start with the most basic. First thing you need to do is to set your class up right for the Sabo spawn trap. Alright, so basically you're going to want to have a pretty good primary weapon. A lot of people like to try using LMGs. I wouldn't recommend using them. But guns I would highly recommend are the MP7, Striker, PP90, the P90, and the ACR is really good. Those are the best 5 primary weapons I've found that are pretty good for spawn trapping. But after that, you're going to want to set up either akimbo machine pistols or whatever. I find that they're pretty useful if you get into a tight spot and you need to pull out they're pretty awesome to pull out and get a multi-kill real quick if you need to. But the most important part of creating a class, you're going to want to have your claymore. The claymore will be the way you cut off spawns. If you put a claymore into a spawn point, basically that it cuts off that spawn point, and no person will spawn there. I'll show you all that later. But after the claymore, it's extremely useful. I would highly recommend either tactical insertion. Portable radar is good, but tactical insertion would be probably my top choice. And then you're going to want to run specialist. Specialist basically there's no reason to run support or assault. You're going to want to run specialist, so that way you can get all your perks and just be kind of like a super beast and all that. Because if you get assault kill streaks, basically you cannot, basically you won't be able to use them. If you get them into a spawn trap, you won't be able to use pretty much any assault or support kill streaks on them. Especially juggernauts. Do not use the juggernaut, because juggernauts are considered kill streaks. So when you kill people in the juggernaut suit, it's basically like killing them with a kill streak. So people will not die. Actually, they will not die if you are like sitting behind them. You have the juggernaut suit, and you can shoot as many bullets into them, but they will not die. So just run specialists. That's basically the way to go on that. Alright, so let's get down to where the spawns are in Bootleg. Alright, so this is going to be your first spawn point. This is going to be the biggest main spawn in Sabotage for the other team. This is your second main spawn. We call this one Bomb. They're going to spawn right there in that corner. And that's the second biggest spawn. The next spawn, we usually put a claymore in this one. Call this one Trash Can. They will not spawn on claymore in this spot, but in the other two spots I just showed you, they might spawn on there if you put a claymore. So you always have to be careful. This one is, we just call this corner. We usually put a claymore in this spot. If you don't, they don't spawn there much. Next, there's a wall. This is called a wall spawn. We usually have somebody watching this spawn, and after that the final spawn is called store spawn, and they're going to spawn right there in that corner. And that's all the spawns. So I will just give y'all some Sabo tips now. Alright guys, my first tip is pretty good one, I guess. You're going to want to find a lobby full of noobs, basically, and if you run into a lobby full of like a clan or a group of guys playing together, or people that have high kill death ratios or high levels, it's going to be a lot harder to get the spawn trap, and you're just going to get angry that you can't get it, and it's better to just back out and try to find a new lobby. The best way to do this is to just kind of guess, basically, on people's levels about how good they are. And if you go to leaderboard, when you're in a lobby, you click leaderboard, then you go to what is it, kills, and then you go you switch your search criteria to all time or weekly or whatever, and switch it from friends to lobby. Then you can see everybody's kill death ratio, and you can kind of tell how good they are. My second tip is everybody has to know what they're doing. If you just kind of get a guy that jumps in there and you're like, alright, we'll tell you the spawns in the game or something like that, and they really don't know the spawns, they're just going to be running around and they're not going to know what to do. You're going to have 6 people that know exactly what they're doing, and that's pretty much that's a good tip, I guess. The next one is that you're going to have to pick up the bomb. Like, if you have a guy kind of on the outskirts of the spawn trap, like, if he gets overwhelmed or something and he dies, then the other team can rush plant the bomb. And unlike in previous Call of Duties, there's only a 30-second countdown timer for the Sabotage, and you already have, it takes 5 seconds to defuse it, so you basically have 25 seconds to get to the bomb and defuse it before time runs out. And it's kind of hard sometimes, especially if the team that plants it only needs like 2 or 3 kills on the other team, and they can basically win the game after they plant it. So you're gonna have to want somebody that is willing to take the bomb. Next, you're gonna want to have 1 or 2 guys are called runners. The runners are basically guys that don't have a specific spawn point to watch, And how we do it is we kind of pick some guys at the beginning. They're gonna run around or whatever, and what they do is they just kind of run around, pick off extra guys, and then what we do is whoever gets the first Moab switches with one of the runners, and we usually have two actually, and so there's only really 4 spawn points to watch, and we put the extra spawn points. We just put claymores in them. And that's how we do it. We just get whoever gets the first Moab has to switch, and that's basically the runner's part. And sometimes you, if you get into a lobby and you pick a map that you don't know how to sabo spawn trap in, it's best to just either quick plan it or back out. If you find a good lobby, it's probably best to just quick plan it, because usually most of the guys will stay in the lobby. But if you do just quick plan it, it's basically a lot easier than just trying to spawn trap on a map you don't know. And that's kind of all the tips I can think about right now. Oh yeah, if big tip, I guess. I kind of can't believe I didn't mention this earlier. If you're watching a spawn point, what will happen is basically if you turn around to where your screen no longer is watching that spawn point, you can get 4 or 5 guys literally spawning in that one spawn point at a time. That's basically how the spawns work. Basically, when you're looking at a spawn, it'll kind of pretty much cut off the spawns. And ooh, look at that! Look at that predator missile dodge. It'll cut off the spawns pretty much until you get pretty much all the spawns on block. And so you basically are gonna have to be watching your spawn 24/7 basically. And that's pretty much all the tips I got for you on Sabo spawn trap. So stay tuned. I will put out some more episodes, probably on Dome for sure. Let me think. There's Dome. Oh shit. I can't believe. Oh, there's a couple other maps you got that we like to spawn trap on. So I'll give you kind of tips for all those. So, but I'll see you later, guys.